By the way, I was saying her name wrong. It's Moorea, I believe. See, now I can't. I did the research and I still can't pronounce it, so I'm just going to fail at pronouncing everything ever. Once more, another week, another list by Moorea Seal. It is, I can't open it that way. It is week 7, and this one was also very difficult. I don't think it's going to be as emotional as the last one, but it's definitely, oh no, got some props today. It was hard to think about because list number 7 says, list the greatest compliments and encouragement you have ever been given. And just a disclaimer, I don't remember everything that anyone has ever complimented me on. I don't really categorize them even. It's just sort of I don't know, there's certain ones I think that will stick with me, but because of my mental health, it's very difficult for me to remember them, immediately when I need to. So this one took me longer than my usual 5 minutes to really come up with a list, but I did. But generally, the compliments that I remember the most are the ones where someone's complimenting something I've created. The ones where people compliment my appearance don't necessarily mean that much to me. Probably because a lot of the times that I've been complimented for my appearance have been online where I don't know the person and it's just kind of weird. But when someone's complimenting a video I created or I don't know, story I wrote or the RP that I made, that means so much more to me because I put a lot of time and energy and thought into that content. But I also always remember the ones that compliment and sort of encourage me as a person. So for example, compliment on my singing, which I don't do very often in public in front of other people, ever, but I am getting better at it. And whenever I get complimented on singing, that makes me feel better. I feel more confident in doing that activity that is very personal to me. The encouragement of you're capable and you're strong, those are really important to me, and those make me feel warm and fuzzy inside. But I'm gonna do a shout out to my friend Mack, who I don't know how many years we've been friends. We've never actually met in person. We've been online friends for, I want to say 5 years, 6 years. It feels very much longer than that. Mack and I write letters to each other, and sometimes the letters we don't tell each other we're sending. I keep all of them, and they're the ones that I go to if I really hit a low point mentally or emotionally, and I just reread them, and they're what keep me sane. I actually have, those are my props. So this first one, it's not actually a letter. I had her read this adult fairy tale that I wrote. I did it for school, and it was the first time I had ever written out all of the negative experiences I had growing up. I'll read you a little bit of it. I'm hoping I can read this without choking up, because this is one that I go to frequently and it makes me emotional. Your essay was personal and personable, maybe not to the degree of the events you've gone through in your life specifically, but I'm sure everyone in the world has gone through something that has made them lose their voice in one way or another, and yours is just one powerful story that connects you to the writing world. I've only gotten snippets of your life, and while I've always been curious about it, I've always felt uncomfortable to simply ask because my life is nothing like yours. I feel honored to know this part of you, where I feel safe to say that I now really know you, Britt, my best friend and a very strong girl with a voice to match. I hope you never let anyone silence it ever again, and if you need a kick in the ass to get back on track sometimes, I'm always here to give you that kick if necessary. I need a moment. Again, that was complimenting something that I'm very passionate about, and writing was my way of dealing with all the shittiness. It was my way of having a voice, because I didn't really get to have a voice when I was younger and going through all of those things, so writing it was how I managed and how I survived, honestly. So thank you, Mac, for that. But also, Mac, we're not done, because I have a letter with your lovely handwriting on it. This was in December 2016, which is, I believe, a year after my stepdad died. It was a rough year. I don't think I had a job at that point. I don't remember. I might not have had that job. So like it was a really rough time for me emotionally and mentally to function. And I was kind of sort of figuring out where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do. I'll read you a little tidbit of this one. Okay. I never thought I would have a friend as close as you. In fact, a friend like you is something I always dreamed about. Thank you for always being there for me. I hope the new year brings you so much joy and happiness. You deserve it. I don't know if I can read anymore without like crying. Those are very special to me, and pretty much any message I get is really happy for me. I have other ones. Hold on. I save all of them. Like if anyone ever sends me something really nice or I don't know, like tags me in something really sweet, I usually like screenshot it on my phone and save it just to like have as an arsenal for like later when I'm not feeling great. I don't know what video I mentioned this in. It might have been Vlogmas. It might have been last week's 52 List for Happiness. I don't remember, but somewhere I know I mentioned that the admin of one of the role plays that I featured on my last RP Weekly episode, they sent me a message thanking me for putting them in there, and then also like was complimenting me a lot. And so I got a private message, but they also later on then posted up on their RP blog, and they said, we want to give a big thank you, high five, thumbs up, warm squishy hug to the fabulous Brit for picking Maledictus, I still don't know how to pronounce it, as the Spotlight RP in her latest RP Weekly video. Check out her video with lots of great RP recs and follow her for more amazing content, including writing/RP tips. It's amazing. She's amazing. Her content is amazing with a heart. So yeah, I save all of that stuff because that's really important to me, that the people watching, that the people that I want to watch this content and make it for enjoy it, and that's really important. It's also important because it's nice to have people say nice things about you, which is why I do that for anyone I really interact with. I try and make sure that they feel positive and cheered on. So the take action before I go on that rant or like really tangent, I don't know, is to rewrite your favorite compliment on a sheet of paper or print it out in a font you love. Then tape it to a wall or frame it in your home so that you are reminded every day to choose happiness and self-love. I didn't actually have to do this because I surround myself already in my room with like just inspiring things or things that cheer me up. Like those notes from Mack, those I have on my wall. I highly encourage that if you ever have something really nice or you find a quote that you love, to print it out or write it down and put it somewhere that you'll see it every day. Because the positivity from just doing that and seeing that frequently really does help. These videos are always so nice to film because they're like a break from like doing like sort of semi-scripted stuff. I really enjoy doing them. So thank you for joining me. My question for this video: what is your favorite inspirational quote? It could be a song, it could be a poem, it could be just like something someone said once. But comment below because I could always use more. I love quotes. And share that positivity around. It's very important. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, if you like me doing 52 lists for happiness, I will eventually be able to say that in one breath. Please give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notification so you know when I post up videos. Keep on shining, storytellers.